powers did you come up with since the discussion?
Okay, bro. Okay, so this is probably like the first one I want to mention because Jujutsu Kaisen is just like such a good anime, popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Gojo, his limitless infinity. This power is ridiculous. It's that okay. Have you watched Jujutsu Kaisen?
Of course, of course.
Okay, so that power that he has to basically like nothing touches him.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is ridiculous. I had to look into it just to understand it fully. I felt like I had to get like a degree in freaking science to understand what this was. It was like basically infinity is like the idea that um, nothing could ever get to you because he divides like space between them
Mm-hmm.
over and over. So the closer you get to him, the slower you move, and it just divides infinitely. So you can technically never, ever, ever reach him. The closer you are, the slower you go. And I
Interesting.
think that power is just so ridiculously broken. Because apparently you can also expand it so that people can get even closer to you, and it's just ridiculous to me. I don't know, man.
I don't know, because spoilers. Apparently, this must be a flaw somewhere because he got sealed.
Yeah, he did get sealed. I read the manga. He got sealed by some. It was some item that I don't even know. It's ridiculously broken, but they specifically were just like they needed to seal him because they couldn't like whoever it was. I don't even remember who they were fighting at the time, but I think it's the major curses that are trying to revive Sukuna, but they're trying to get all his fingers or whatever, and they're just like, we need to seal Gojo because if we don't, we literally can't do anything.
You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he can.
I saw a little bit like terminology spoilers. What do they call Gojo? Because Yuto is the second coming of Gojo. I forgot what the word they used for him. Was it the Wonder One or the?
Um, dang, I don't know. I know that they mentioned that he's like the only one who was born with what, six eyes or something. What's
Mm-hmm.
it called? And the power of like limitless or whatever at the same time in like the past like 400 years.
Mm.
But I don't know if they have I didn't know they had a specific name for him.
I don't know if like it was like manga specific or just like the community came up with it. But they said Yuto's like the second one, and then Gojo's the first.
Okay.
But I do know, speaking of broken people, because you know Yuto's the queen curse that what he has. They saying
Yeah.
Megami is also almost on par with that, since Sukuna's taking a very likely interest in him.
Yeah. Okay. I've been wondering about that. After watching the anime and even reading where I am, getting up to where I am in the manga. Sukuna talks about, like, so much interest in Megumin, but he never really explains why. He always just mentions that he's using his shadows kind of wrong or
Mhm.
whatever. And he's like, you lack creativity, but I never understood what he meant by that, and he doesn't really explain it either.
I think that's, I feel like because Sukuna apparently is able to take over people's bodies, or I think there's like a character that can help him do that, and he might want Megami's body, but I don't know yet. Like we have to wait till the manga finish, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Um, the next power I'd say, that I was like really into is this is a One Piece power. So I don't know if you
Oh,
ever.
hold up. I gotta let him know. I haven't finished watching One Piece.
Okay,
I'm on
okay, but
episode.
this is like a pretty major character. I think you might know who they are.
Well, I know the characters. I just haven't caught up with the plot.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm talking about Trafalgar Law or whatever.
Ah,
His power.
yes, my man Law.
Yeah, dude. Room. It's one of my favorite powers in One Piece. If not, it is my favorite power in One Piece. If I were to have a devil fruit, it would be his. It's ridiculous. The ability to make a dome around you, and you can increase the range of it depending on, I guess, how strong you are with your power. And then basically anything inside the dome, you have full ability to move, teleport, cut, just basically do anything you want with it. It's ridiculous, and you can teleport within your dome too, as long as you teleport to an item. So you see Law will sometimes teleport to items by throwing them, or if he wants to go through walls, just switch spaces with like a chair or something. I don't know.
Not a chair.
And it's just amazing. Even characters that are completely covered in hockey can't stop themselves from getting cut by Law when he's inside the dome. And the only way that Doflamingo was ever able to beat it was because they had one downside, which is that apparently he gets tired after a while.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
I've noticed. Say like in practicality wise, it's a broken move.
Yeah, no, I guess, and I guess that's why they had to give him some sort of limit in that. Because watching One Piece, I don't think I've ever seen a character get tired from using their own Devil Fruit ability. I don't think so, at least.
Because you're the expert. You watch it. I'm only on episode 120, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if you see like characters like Luffy that's just made of rubber, and he continues to use his rubber abilities over and over, and he doesn't really get tired from it. Same with the admirals, like they use magma, light, ice. They don't really get tired from using their abilities, and they have no real side effects to them. Law is the only one that I've seen that has a side effect to using his abilities.
Which is crazy. This man's a doctor, a pirate, and also their, navigator?
I think so. Basically everything. I don't honestly. I really don't think that Law needs anyone in his crew.
he really doesn't.
Just holds them back. There's even a fight where Law is basically he's fighting one of the worst generation guys, and he has this power. It's also kind of cool. His devil fruit is the ability to use straw dolls as like voodoo dolls, and honestly don't ever want to be in his crew because he takes like a piece of hair or something from you, puts it in a voodoo doll, and he basically gives himself extra lives because if he ever gets killed or damaged, the voodoo doll gets damaged instead and transports the damage to his crewmate or whoever it was that he put in that doll.
What kind of teammate is that?
He's the captain. Oh, he was the captain of his crew until he started working for a different emperor. But yeah, it's ridiculous. And so Law was fighting him, is basically destroying him, until he was just like, "Bro, if you kill me or if you hurt me, just let you know you're hurting your own crew because I captured your crew and I put them in these dolls." Or I put like, a piece of them in these dolls. So if you hurt me, you're just gonna kill them. And I'm just like, damn. They just became even more fodder than they already were.
Speaking of actually Law and being his own, team being used against him, I read in the manga that he's fighting Blackbeard. Well, I say read in the manga, but I saw spoilers saying he's fighting Blackbeard. People talking about if Blackbeard comes back with, using the room ability, it's gonna be a crazy mess.
Honestly, yeah, keep going.
Because I feel like if they're gonna do something like that, they should at least show it. Because I know my dog Claw would not go out without a fight.
I mean, I hope they show it. They didn't really show the fight with Ace and Blackbeard. Like they showed it for like a little bit, but after that, we didn't really get to see much of what happened. But I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to come up against each other. I mean, I think honestly, damn, I don't know. If Law puts Blackbeard inside of his room, I would like to say that he could just cut him in half. The fact that like Blackbeard has the ability of the dark fruit or whatever, canceling out abilities, I don't know if it would even affect him.
True, it'd be an interesting matchup. I'm telling you.
It would definitely be interesting. I also want to know um, what the heck is going on with Blackbeard's power, because he now has Whitebeard's power.
Mm-hmm. He's
And
apparently, yeah.
they didn't explain how he got it. I'm assuming that it has something to do with his darkness, devil fruit. But so far, there's never been a devil fruit in the show that you can just consume someone else's fruit. So that's kind of weird.
So I think for Blackbeard, I'm not trying to steal on Oda's spotlight, but I think the way the path is going, Blackbeard's the final boss in order for Luffy to become the actual Power King. Because I think Blackbeard does steal abilities. I think it's either by his dark fruit or maybe his third hidden one that allows him to gain more. Because apparently he had multiple. He had multiple fruits.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if the dark fruit takes in other devil fruits and becomes part with the dark fruit, or if it takes up like a slot in his ability to have devil fruits. But I feel like if that goes that way, and he does have like a fruit that lets him stockhold him, like one for all, then I feel like Luffy could be in for a tough fight.
Okay, I'm sorry. I read I read some weird fan theory. I don't know if this sounds ridiculous.
Not the fan theory.
But it was like while Whitebeard was alive, Blackbeard cut out Whitebeard's stomach, which had the fruit in it, and transplanted it into his own body, giving him 2 stomachs and 2 devil fruits. That sounds ridiculous.
That's so gruesome. I doubt that's how it went.
Plus, wasn't Whitebeard already dead? But before Blackbeard actually decided to cover him up, 'cause he put like a tarp over him, and then he whatever. After a few minutes, the tarp went away, and then Blackbeard was like, I now have this power.
You asked me. I'm not there yet. I'm still in Alabasta.
Oh my gosh, you're in Alabasta. Oh shit.
Bro, I'm in the fight with Mr. 2 and Sanji that just finished. So I think it's Zoro and Mr. 1 that should be fighting soon. So.
Okay.
So
Do you have Damn, you're in Alabasta. Okay. All right.
I'm almost there. Gotta get to Skypiea. Then after Skypiea, I gotta get to Thriller Park. And after Thriller Park, I gotta go to the main forward.
You know the main villain in Skypiea?
Yeah, of course, Nell.
Okay, I think he's coming back.
He's coming. Well,
like, apparently, I think he's coming back. So I don't know.
Maybe because I think they brought back also Don Flamingo and Crocodile too.
Okay, I think Crocodile's honestly gonna come back out of just sheer popularity. I'm pretty sure people just love his character.
Really? Yeah.
Well, he comes back during the arc. So
okay.
For a small portion of time, and then he just kind of like goes on his way. So I think he'll probably come back again near the end of the show.
True.
Specific power that you've been thinking about?
Honestly, I would say my top 10 would maybe be the Speed Force for Flash.
You know, I was thinking about the Flash. When you asked me about this list, and I was trying to figure out what the most broken one I could think of. But if you talk about just the power in general, the Speed Force is ridiculous. I feel like the Speed Force is kind of like, well, I mean, it's got the same name, but I feel like the Speed Force is kind of like the Force in Star Wars. It's kind of,
Not the Force.
I feel like it just kind of does whatever the writer wants it to do.
I mean, you go ultimate speed. I think you would be faster than light, but it can also be so fast that you can go back in time. But it can also be so fast that you can change or move faster than atoms. It's like, it's written to be broken, but I feel like the practicality of it is just like, I guess you do anything you want with it, so just make up stuff. Like with most comic book heroes. Like with Spider-Man. I feel like initially Spider-Man wasn't so strong, but somewhere along the line, like, well, we never mentioned his strength feats, but let's just say, if he was serious, he could actually kill multiple people with ease. Or he could stop a train, as seen in, Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I mean, now that you mentioned Spider-Man, that was on my list too. But yeah, continue with the Speed Force real quick before I get into that.
Because what was it? I think the DC movie Flashpoint that's what they really touched it in. I haven't really like read the comics. I need to read comics and manga. I gotta get into that. But
You're talking about the animated movie, right?
yeah, you know, the one that started the whole war, the whole apocalypse war.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a crazy movie, but that was crazy because I think in the movie something happened with Flash where he had to go back, and when he went back, I think he saw his mother again, and he didn't do anything. He just like stayed there, I think, and then eventually everything transpired. He eventually came back again. The Justice League was different. Everything was just different. Batman was different.
Yeah. So I remember I did watch this movie kind of recently, like a few months ago. If we're talking about Flashpoint Paradox, animated movie, but in the movie, he decided he wanted to go back in time to save his mom because he just felt the guilt of just not being able to save her, and it was too much. So he decided, I have Speed Force, I can go back in time, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Went back in time, saved his mom. Yeah, he went back in time, saved his mom, whatever. When he came back to the present, everything was different. He also wasn't the Flash anymore.
Oh, I think his mom thought he was gay and stuff. I was like, that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he also wasn't the Flash anymore. He was just like a detective, just normal guy. Everything was different. There was a war between Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and the basically the whole ocean and the the Amazon women. Batman wasn't Bruce Wayne. Batman. Well, damn it. I feel like I'm spoiling anything for anybody who wants to watch this movie.
I mean, you'll be little spoiler warnings.
Okay. All right. Well, spoiler warnings, I guess then. But Batman wasn't Bruce Wayne. It was his father. And Joker wasn't the Joker that we know. Joker was his mom. I don't know how that works, but yeah.
It's crazy.
But it was crazy. And then near the end of the movie, Reverse Flash shows up and was just like, he was the one kind of starting the fights between the Amazonian women and Aquaman and all that, and kind of starting wars all over the world. And eventually the Flash gets his powers back, and he's asking Reverse Flash like, why'd you do all this? And he's explaining to him like, yeah, I didn't do anything, you did all this.
You did all this.
I really don't. I hate that movie though, because I understand there's a butterfly effect when it comes to time travel, but I really don't think that her staying alive caused all this to happen. Like, what?
I don't feel like it either, but I think they're probably a little bit more deeper into it. Like, I think maybe, I don't know, I gotta read Flash's backstory, but I think the reason why maybe everything changed because Flash was not actually there when the Justice League formed, so everything else actually changed. Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know. I get so angry when I see that movie because I'm just like, there's no way. There's no way it would happen. Oh, and then Superman was like, he wasn't raised by his Earth father. He was caught by the government, and then the government basically used him as like an experiment for the whole time. And he wasn't Superman. He was just kind of like a mutant that was kept in a cell. It was just so crazy. I'm like, how does Flash staying alive, or Flash's mom staying alive, change who raised Superman? That doesn't make sense. But
You're right. I like. But what was your other power that you were talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh dude. Okay. Freaking Spider Sense. Spider Sense is so ridiculously OP, and I feel like movies, I feel like the MCU movies haven't put it into perspective how ridiculously OP it is. Well, actually, no, not true. There's like one scene that puts it into perspective, but Spider Sense, everyone knows at this point what it does, but it's basically an extra sense of your body. It detects danger towards you or anywhere around you without you really knowing where it's coming from. there's a chapter in a comic. I saw a clip of it, but it was a chapter of a comic that there was like a laser from a different planet out of the solar system that was shooting towards Earth, and Spider-Man could sense it, that like the Earth was about to get blown up. And I'm just like, how?
How?
So it seems that the range of spider sense is also kind of infinite. The one scene I'm talking about in the MCU, spoilers to anyone who hasn't watched Infinity War by now. But
That's like almost 7 years late.
yeah, so I mean, spoilers I guess, but if you haven't watched Infinity War, well, there you go. But anyways, most people have. When Spider-Man gets dusted,
When he gets hold on.
when he gets dusted, when he gets eviscerated,
I don't feel good, Mr. Stark.
and he didn't feel good. People theorize that when he was saying he didn't feel good, and that he was still like in his normal form, like he wasn't starting to turn into dust yet.
Mhm.
That feeling that he was feeling was the spider sense.
Really?
Yeah, that's what people were saying, and it was kind of widely agreed upon that was the case, even though I don't know if the writers were going for that, but yeah, they were saying that that because the spider like Peter wasn't, he said, Mr. Stark, I wasn't feeling well, I'm not feeling well or whatever, was his spider sense going crazy, was like, like there's danger, but like you don't know how to stop it, so it's like his spider sense was going crazy. And I just think that scene, if the writers were going for a spider sense explanation there, was like showed spider sense to like the best that I've ever seen in a movie. Because I think that spider sense is just a ridiculously strong power in general. But I say that, but then in some movies and some shows and some comics, you see Spider-Man dodging bullets because of spider sense, and getting dodged by dodging a whole bunch of stuff, and then also in the same show, movie, comic, getting punched by some random dude. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's strong when it wants to be, I guess.
Because then my next question, well, I have some questions about it, and then but be like, if the spider sense was active when he was disappearing, does it actually like have a certain feeling to when he has it? And then also my another point would be, is it continuously active, like it just have a low, like, what's the word, not, I would say radiance, but like emission point, and then when the danger is more intimate, it comes stronger? That's my question.
I remember looking this up a long time ago, because I was super into just the spider sense as a power, and I remember on the wiki fandom page of Spider-Man or whatever, it was explaining that apparently the spider sense can be tricked if the person thinks that they're safe. Like if Peter Parker thinks that he's just in a safe area and there's no danger at all, the spider sense won't go off. Which doesn't make sense in some cases, because there are a lot of scenarios where he thinks he's safe and the spider sense is like, oh, danger.
Like in the Spider-Man movie, I think from 2002, when he was having like a nice little date with, I think, MJ.
I
and then
was
all of a
that
sudden,
exact same scene.
it's like then all of a sudden a car comes out of nowhere, it's like, whoosh, spider sense is tingling.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like it's the power is really cool. It's very strong when it wants to be, but in some cases it just doesn't work. I don't know why, but
Interesting. I gotta look into this one. Oh, what's your other power?
All right. This one is, I'm just gonna say this. This one is Dios Zaguardo.
Oh, now we're into stands. Oh no.
Dios, the world or whatever. It's a very basic power, but it's strong nonetheless. Just the ability to freeze time or to stop time. I love that power. I think that this power is also, I like this power because it's kind of like a Speed Force power, or like a Flash ability. Moving so fast that you're just able to stop time. the reason why I like this power is because there's just so much you can do with it. If you're able to stop time and also still move around and move things.
Of course. You know he done it.
One of the exactly like one of my favorite scenes of Dio using that power was when Polnareff was going up the stairs. It's just so
Dio,
funny, bro.
because when you first watch the anime and you know nothing about Dio's power, you're like, oh, what's going on? He keep going back down the stairs, and you're like, huh. But later, when the anime first reveals like his time stopping powers, like, oh, that's what he did to Polnareff.
No, it's so freaking funny, bro, because I'm just like, oh man, the first time I saw that scene, I was so confused on what was going on.
What's
And
going
then when
on?
I found out, yeah, and then when I found out his power was freezing time, I was like, this man is he's like, go up the stairs, freezing time, and then going down the stairs,
Yeah,
picking him up.
If you think about it, it's funny. It's funny.
He's going down the stairs, picking this man up, putting him down 2 steps, and then going back up the stairs and unfreezing time. It's the stupid.
And his signature pose too. He was staying in that pose all the time.
No, oh my god. I wish they released a scene of Dio, of what was happening when Dio froze time. I just want to see it.